the insanity that's going on. I don't have to say more. Um, I just, I'm speechless. Oil, watching the oil open like we always do, watching the YM. Right now, watching the RTY. I'm going to put, I guess I'll put a reverse continue on oil. I'm embarrassed to say I blew up my Lucid account yesterday. Very embarrassed to say it, but I did some of the worst scalping I ever did in my life yesterday after the trade room. So I have to decide if I want to reset that account or just get another one or just not bother. I have too many accounts. But oil yesterday, we traded the oil open and we got a reversal and we're able to protect 3 ticks. Right now, oil, looking at a longer time frame chart, it's responding to tweets pretty much. Responding to tweets. Now, if I don't cancel that one, I thought it didn't rebill, Ray. I thought it did not rebill, and that it was just over if you blew it up. Am I wrong about that? I'll have to check. Yeah, I wasn't going to reset it. It's too expensive. So oil, you could see it's been up and down overnight. Right now, it's probably bullish because of the tweets from Trump. So it looks like it's going to make a new high. I'll put a reverse continue on the chart with oil. One position, a 30 tick target, a 25 stop.
And that concludes comments from Feds Williams.
I'll label it CL reverse continue. I'll put it on account number 35, which is an account. It's fairly new. Apply it, okay it. So that's just a reverse continuation. Let me double check that. I'm tempted to take a long for a test of the high. Uh, Stop 25, target 30. That's all I'm doing. One position. I'll throw an oil magnet on also. What the heck? Or maybe I'll just use the reverse continue. I'll wait till the open. I'm going to wait till the open. So I'll do a breakout on account 35 because like I said yesterday, it's kind of a throwaway account, meaning it's new, it's not been built up, it's a good testing account. So we'll look for the oil open template. Load, oil new open. Date it, right click it, rename it today. Load it. We'll check our bracket. Our bracket's 15 ticks at the moment.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
Time is at 0.
Order submitted.
So I'm going to go with the 15 bracket.
Order canceled.
So that breakout, and honestly, the breakout hasn't been working very well. So why am I going to bother? Well, oil's up almost $2.50 today. There just might be a burst at the open this morning. We'll see. 859.59 is the trigger. 15 bracket. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. It means we have one target for each position. Target of 8. Target of 20. Stop of 25. And my target 1 stop move is BE for break even. And we'll try that in number 35. We made 30 bucks yesterday. Labeled the trade, CL breakout open. Put the chart trader on the right account. See, I'm glad I didn't jump in long. Better wait till the open. YM, I'll put my reverse continue on the chart. Change the breakout to a reverse continue. One position, a 35 tick target, a 35 tick stop, label it YM, reverse continue, and we'll trade this in a funded account. Let me see which one. I think 67. Yep, we'll use 67 on the YM. We'll use 66 on the RTY. I'll put a magnet on the YM also. High of day, low of day. I'm just watching oil sell off now. One position,
Surely expecting US Red Book year on year.
target -3, stop of 45. And the YM will trade on account number 67. Label it YM magnet. Now it is very easy to program a magnet so the buttons work if you want to use the internal buttons. So what do I mean by that? If you want to trade signals, you need to set up ARS management. So position 1 is a 1, the target is 35 ticks, and the stop is 35. That will program my ARS button. If I want to use a reverse continue inside the YM, I can program that button also, and I'll program it slightly differently from the other reverse I just set up. I'll do 2 contracts, 2 contracts, 1 position. The stop is 35, and we'll still do the same target, 35. That programs the button inside the magnet trade. Apply it, okay it. When you turn on the high of day, low of day magnet, you get your orders. And we might, I was just going to say, let's trade. Something must have just happened.
So we're seeing strength in the S&P 500 and weakness in WTI.
Hold on.
Not seeing news right now to explain this move, but we'll keep looking.
No news yet to explain this move. No news yet. That will probably cancel our oil trade. Okay. I probably will not trade the oil open now. It's a little bit too volatile. There's no reason to take that extra risk because now we're waiting to see, was there news? Um, it's already a trade that doesn't perform well to begin with. So I think this morning we'll do the oil breakout, and any oil trading, I'll just put it in sim at the moment. Let's just see how that trade works. There's no point in throwing money away. You don't have to throw money away. So the reverse continue, and even though it's a low risk prop account, you don't want to throw $300-400 on a bad, not a bad event, but a higher risk event because something happened in the news and we don't yet know what it is. So very often the better trade is when you see a weird move that you don't know what it is and it went right to the VWAP. Had I been thinking, I could have just taken a reversal there. You could just take a reversal. It's risky, but we have a trade set up. I could have just taken a long. It would have worked. Now, I'm not jumping into any trades at the moment because something has caused the market to spike, and you want to wait a little bit and let the markets calm down. If the oil trade was a fantastic trade, right now the market, it has calmed down. It's almost back to where it was. But I don't think it's dumb to be careful. Like I said, you don't have to throw away um, money on a trade. Now, it really has calmed down almost completely. Do I have enough time if I wanted to put the breakout on?
US effective federal funds rate at 3.64%, unchanged.
I probably could put the breakout on, but I'm just going to leave it right now. We'll trade the open and we'll just chalk it up. Right now, we'll have to chalk it up to an unknown spike. It's an unknown spike at the moment. So here comes the 9 o'clock breakout.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
So it spiked up a little bit. No follow through yet on the upside. Was not a very big bracket. It was only a 15 bracket. It could still follow through. It's not a definite loser. Now it's looking good. It's pretty choppy on the open. It might hit the first target.
Order filled.
So it hits the first target. our stop moved to break even,
Order filled.
and then it would have reversed for roughly 7 ticks of possible profit. So, we took that one off. It would not have been a loser. Was not a loser. It's like Arthur said, volume went back to quiet or fairly normal for the open. So could have made a few ticks on that, but it was a pretty big spike. So what was the size of that move that spooked us? And we have had a rule over the years. If you get a very unusual move right before a news report, a couple of minutes, then we don't take the trade. I mean, it is a safety net, a safety valve um, that sometimes protects you from a bad outcome. There's always another trade, so there's no big deal about not taking one trade. There's a million trades during the week. I think we all know that. That was a 100-tick spike. That was a 100-tick spike. That's definitely the size of a spike that might make you think twice about taking an event that's a couple of minutes after that spike. All right, so we erred on the side of caution. We're going to remove our oil trades. It will
Consumer Group
not
Uber
be
expanding
the
infrastructure
first
and AI
time
capabilities on
that we take a
AWS.
trade, or don't, it will not be the first time we don't take a trade that had a small winner or even a good winner. Or it could have been a big loser, and then I'd be looking like a genius. So right now I'm not looking like a genius. And that's just the way the game is played for the trade room. I don't always look like a genius. And I still don't see any reason for that move. When that move was taking place, I was getting ready to say, let's set the YM up for a VWAP PP test. And it burst right up. It took away all the opportunity. I think this morning I'm going to leave the YM for the high of day, low of day magnet on the open. That's what we'll do this morning on the YM open. RTY will set up our reverse continue. One position, a 35-tick target, a 35-tick stop. We'll label it RTY, reverse continue. And we're trading RTY funded. So I've got an RTY reverse continue at the moment. I'll put my RTY range trade on. So we have a template for our morning range. We'll load it up. All right, our range trade. So trade type at the very top. Make sure it says range trade. We're going to end the range at 9:30, 9:30.00. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target 1 is 10 ticks,
So
target 2
Pakistan
is
Army
20
condemns
ticks,
attack on Saudi
target
petrochemical
1 stop
complex.
move is
Closure
break
statement
even,
after a top leaders meeting.
and we have a 35-tick stop. Then we go down to range start time. the range start time, 9:25:00, 9:25:00, 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. Then go down to optional and uncheck show vertical line on entry. Apply it, OK it, and now you have a 5-minute range trade. It will start calculating at 9:25. Make sure you chose the account that you're trading it in. All my RTYs go in the same account. They're not all being traded at the same time. RTY is funded. Apply it, OK it. 66, turn it on. And I will turn on an RTY magnet. Yesterday we had a great RTY magnet. It was to the high side, which surprised me. Every signal will not be a winner. Okay, pointing out a signal here. Not very good. If you got in at the worst possible place, it moved, what, 5 ticks? Oh, more than I thought. 18 ticks. Maybe you could have gotten out flat, maybe, if you saw it wasn't working. The momentum started to work. Momentum started to work. The truth is, your stop should be above, probably above the PP if you're going to have a market structure stop that makes sense. It is a fairly big stop, though, almost 100 points. It's $500. Sometimes you need big stops if you use market structure. Otherwise, normally the stop would be 10 ticks above the VWAP, but you got that PP right there also acting as a magnet. So I was going to put a magnet on the RTY. High of day, low of day. Position 1 is a 1. Target 1, -3. We'll use a 40 tick stop at the moment. One position. Label it RTY magnet. You can do all your programming of the buttons again, just like we did on the YM magnet. If you want to program your buttons, it only takes a minute. So if you're going to trade RTY signals, which I'm not a lover of scalping the RTY, but the first button is the ARS Enter Now button, and that's programmed under ARS management. Position 1 is a 1, target is 35, stop is 35. That's my favorite scalp setup on the RTY at the moment. And then if we program the reverse continue button, we'll do the same thing. We'll do a 35 tick target and stop. 35 stop. Position 1 is a 1, target 35. So now the buttons are programmed. Then we scroll down, we label it RTY magnet, and we are on our funded account. Everything RTY is 66. Apply it, OK it, we'll look at our orders. Oh, did I goof? Oh, no, I just didn't turn it on. Let's turn it on. Okay, there's our long order. Make it a little bit bigger. Short order. You can check your entry by hovering over the magnet entry button. We're selling at 28.50. That's 28.50. We have a target of 26.20. 23 tick target. And then we're buying at 58.80. And we're exiting at 60.80, a 20 tick target. All right. I'd probably I'd probably let tests of the lows take place. So in other words, if the YM starts to test pulling down, I might turn on the auto button. So let's double check our setups. The YM, we're funded account 67. We have a magnet and a reverse continue. And then oil. Doesn't it look like oil wants to test the high? But we need to go to MNQ for our open. MNQ 0626. That's what we do in the morning. We'll put our reverse continue on for the MNQ. Click News Trader, change the breakout to reverse continue. Position 1, I'll make it a couple of contracts, and we'll do a target of 50 ticks, and we'll do a stop of 75. All right, that's our reverse continuation for the MNQ. We'll label it MNQ, reverse continue. MNQ, we're trading on account 68 today. That's a funded account also, 68. For the reverse continue, MNQ. Apply it, okay it, turn it on. Then we'll turn on our breakout for the MNQ. Click News Trader, go to template, load MNQ. New open, it's called. MNQ new open, right click it, rename it. 4-7. Today the 7th, yeah, 4-7. Right now the time's on a
According
0.
to a
Our
senior
bracket's
Iranian source,
35.
Pakistan continues to convey messages, but the US has not changed its tone. So again, according to a senior Iranian source, Pakistan continues to convey messages, but the US has
Target
not
of
changed its tone.
35 and 100. Stop of 125 and a BE. Break
Senior Iranian
even.
source says there are negotiations with the US which wants Iran to surrender under
Gonna do
pressure.
120 on my second target, 35 on my first target. Stop is 125. Bracket 35 at the moment. We'll test the bracket on
And
Sim
furthermore, senior Iranian
by
source says
setting the
flexibility will be
time to
shown when we see
0.
flexibility from the US side.
And the software is on Sim account. There's a lot of chatter about
Order submitted. Order canceled.
negotiations. Okay.
Order submitted.
Might want to use a bigger bracket this morning.
Furthermore, the senior Iranian source says what the US wants is the reopening of Hormuz Strait. Iran will not open it in exchange for empty promises. So again, saying from the senior Iranian source, the US wants to reopen in the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran will not open it in exchange for empty promises.
Iran will not open the Strait of Hormuz based on empty promises. All right, our breakout. The
Source
time
says
is
if US
set to
attacks Iran's
0.
power plants, the entire region and Saudi Arabia will fall into complete darkness.
And Iran's making lots of threats to Saudi Arabia's oil
And
now.
furthermore, Qatar conveyed Iran's message about striking power plants to US on Monday.
All right, we're testing a bracket of 35 at the moment on Sim. There's no question these are risky
Order
opens
submitted.
because of commentary.
So, according
Order
to the senior
cancelled.
Iranian source, if the situation gets out of control, Iran allies will also close the Bab el Mandeb waterway.
Voice news disconnected.
All right, so the market's very much responding to constant headlines back and forth. And sometimes you don't know if the headlines are true, if the comments are true. So these are risky opens. I don't have to tell you that. Is anybody not trading because of the commentaries that's going on? Or is everybody just trading your normal opens? Type in what you're doing. I'm just curious. Just curious. What are you doing this morning? Okay, author's holding off. Ray, trading. TJ Sim, Sander normal, Nitin normal. Yeah, I'm going to do my normal opens. Okay, Roz. Frank MNQ. Okay. One more time. Let's look at
Order
the
submitted.
bracket.
Order cancelled.
So hopefully we don't get frozen orders or anything like that. So the breakout 929, 929.59, bracket of 35. Targets of 35 and 120, stop of 125, and a target one stop move of break even. And the MNQ trading in account number 68. And I think I'll put a magnet MNQ on the chart also. Right click strategy, double click magnet, high of day, low of day. Position one, a couple of contracts. We'll do 100 stop. It's only 50 cents a tick. Target -3 default. I'll program the buttons. Why not get in the habit programming buttons? Position one is a 1. Target one is 50. Position one is 2 contracts. Target 50. Stop 75 is our signal button. And then our reverse continue. 2 contracts. Stop of 75. Target is 75. Label it MNQ magnet. And our MNQ is on account 68. So now we'll double check our setups, right? All of our MNQs should be account display 68 and our chart trader should be on 68. MNQ magnet 68, breakout open 68, reverse continue 68. RTY should be 66. Magnet 66, range 66, reverse continue 66. Check the chart, 66. And then the YM is 67 for a magnet and a reverse continue. $67 on the chart trader. Everything looks good. I had a Bullinox credit card problem, Arthur, and I just had to go into the membership and do the charge manually. Just make sure you're not paying for an expensive new account. Make sure it's rebilling at the low price. The RTY range setup. So you're going to right click the chart. Trade type is range trade. The end of the range is 930.00. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10 ticks, target 2 is 20 ticks. Target 1 stop move, BE for break even if it hits the first target. Stop is 35. Scroll down, label it RTY range, choose the account you're trading on. In optional, I uncheck show the vertical line so it doesn't get in the way when the range is drawing. That vertical line can be annoying. Apply it and OK it, and your range trade is set up. Don't forget to turn it on, and then don't forget to make sure the chart is on the right chart for the range. I might just send them a ticket, Arthur, and they'll help you. Now I'm not seeing my RTY magnet, so I have to just change the way I do the buttons. Put the magnet on first. Magnet, range, reverse continue. And now I see everything. Not trading the magnet yet on the RTY. We had a good magnet yesterday on the RTY after the open. We are streaming on YouTube. And as a reminder, earnings season is only 2 weeks away from the big ones. There should be a couple of earnings next week that are very interesting, and then it goes into full gear. So here's the link. Thursday's webinar is going to be a refresh of everything earnings. Everything earnings. Be a good webinar to refresh so you get ready to trade earnings again. Going to cut out a few of the bad ones. Cutting out a few bad ones. Notice that your RTY range trade is starting to generate. What I would like to do if I have time is make sure that my stop on the RTY is below the range. I do like to do that. Now, I do suppose you could do a PP magnet on the YM. It'll work. Most probably YM will go through the PP, or it'll just drop for a short. I'm stubborn. I'm going to stay with my high of day, low of day today. I mean, the PP is far enough away to set up the trade. The VWAP's a little bit close. The VWAP's a little bit close. It might even test the VWAP before the open. So now one of the problems with the RTY is the range is very big. It's getting big. That means a big stop if you put the stop outside of the range. Sometimes you have to just bite the bullet and go with your smaller stop, or your loss could be rather big. All right, 35 seconds. All right, here comes the opens.
Order submit. Order filled.
Unbelievable. I'm just unbelievable. Bursts up for the second day in a row. Perfect, perfect breakouts. Getting rid of the MNQ breakout strategy. Beautiful winner. Getting rid of the RTY range. Beautiful winner. Don't need the setups. Now, YM, it didn't get to the PP. It would have filled, but it did not get there. The YM's been strange all week. The YM has been strange all week. That's all I can say. You know, but this goes to show. Let me get that MNQ magnet. The button's working. I accidentally erased. See, even when you label stuff, you could erase the wrong setup. Let me put my MNQ magnet back on. High of day, low of day, couple of contracts. Stop of 100. And I'm going to put it on a different account. MNQ, account 35. MNQ magnet, account 35. And that means I need to redo my MNQ reverse continue to account 35 also. So let's do that. I don't want to scalp in my funded account. They've made nice money all week. I'm building them up nicely. That's the only reason I'm doing that. The RTY, another nice winner. Let's put the RTY magnet and reverse continue in a different count away from the funded just for a moment. We'll put it in 39 and then the reverse continue in 39. Apply it, put the chart on 39. Turn them back on. I'm watching the YM. We might get a fill to the downside. I don't love scalping the RTY. The MNQ magnet should be on 35. So I'm going to hang around for a little bit, you all. Let's get our buttons working. So turn off reverse continue. We'll put the magnet on first. Then we get our buttons. All right, so we had a great VWAP signal out of the YM. Had a very good VWAP signal. That's crazy, Roz. But I didn't even see it. It happened so fast, I didn't watch. I have to look at the video. I would have to watch the video. We'll watch it, but I want to watch the markets first for a few minutes. So we had a VWAP signal here. Did not take it, obviously. The YM, if it goes and tries to test the low, I will let it. I'll let it fill if the YM goes to test the low. It's only a one contract setup. I think it's going to do it. Here it goes.
Order submitted.
It should test that low. There's the push. Couple
Order
of
filled.
ticks. So the YM gave us a $125 magnet. Very, very quick. Only took about a minute. And that was a funded account. So 3 funded accounts, all of them made some money. That was 66. Wow. 66 is my RTY account. That needs about 800 bucks to ask for money. 67 is miles away. It's brand new. And 68 is about $1,200 away. That's pretty new also. So at the moment, I'm probably done trading at the moment. Oh, no question that 10 seconds, Roz, would make a very big difference on the RTY range. So, Roz, the only thing I would say is the RTY range has been working better than almost any trade that we've seen. So, why not use the one we're using? It's trading fantastic. So, I'm not going to mess with it at the moment. Now, I'm going to stick around and watch signals, but I would not take a long on the YM. There will be a YM long signal. I'm not that interested. If I'm going to scalp, I don't mind scalping on screw around accounts. All right. So I'm going to put my YM. I'm going to keep my funded money this morning. I'm keeping my funded money and I'm putting my YM on 37 and the magnet on 37 only because I don't want to give up funded money because we're building those up when it's difficult scalping markets. That's the only reason. If I felt like my scalping was fantastic right now, then I'd be a little bit more prone to just trade in my funded scalping. Now it's interesting that our MNQ open was a long. It was a burst up, and then it almost could have expanded the target, it seemed like, right? Now it sure looks like the RTY scalp short could be an early entry for a test of the low, right? Do you want to take that risk? You have to have a fairly big stop on it. My RTY scalping has been terrible, terrible.
Order submitted.
So I would want to test my stop's got to be above at least the PP, right? Stop's got to be above the PP. So I can get my stop to safety almost, right? Stop to break even. It's a little too soon. Not enough profit yet. Not enough profit. Stop. I want to get the stop to break even, but it's not ready. Now it's ready. Stop to break even. Expand the target.
Order filled.
All right, so not ready yet. Not ready yet. I'm not saying that trade is a no. Now look, all of a sudden is Iran closes all diplomatic and indirect channels of contact with the U.S. Why is the market going up on that? That was 2 minutes ago. Maybe that's what caused all this movement down. And now we're just getting a retrace from that. So I'm going to go
Order
back
submitted.
to that scalp. Now, put your stop above the VWAP at the moment. It's a big stop. It's a big stop. You don't have to risk that much. If you think the scalp's not going to work, you can wait. You could take a small stop and just wait. But the news is so bearish. But the markets, they're very volatile. Anybody could say anything at a moment's notice. So remember, I didn't do this in my funded account. This is just a regular prop account. So the stop should be above, at least above the previous candle. If you're not going to put it above the VWAP, right? That's really where the stop should be. I mean, if it breaks the VWAP, then you broke direction. Right now, it could chop around in this area. So it looks like this is not going to work. So I'm thinking of exiting the trade, and I'll try again when it gets closer. We still have downward momentum, but obviously price action totally against us on this scalp. Now, MNQ is starting to push down again a little bit. I'm trying to be patient. So we've had a change in momentum. I'm going to close. I'm thinking of closing this RTY now. And I'll do it again.
Order filled.
I'll do it again when the magnet, or when it's a magnet. In other words, I'll let the magnet fill to the downside. I'll let the magnet fill. Now the YM is kind of hanging around the low. So right now we're just waiting to see if anything takes place. Just making sure I'm on the right screens. You have a 10,000 target on Lucid. That seems like a lot. So not really getting a lot of follow through. Maybe the MNQ is going to come make the low. What do you think? Looks like it. I know it's crazy to get penalized for making too much money. It's absurd. It's absurd that that happens. So the MNQ, if you want to bring up the order, if you think it's going to pull down, I brought my order up a little bit. It missed the fill by one tick, one measly tick, which is okay because it didn't follow through. So now it's going to fill.
Order submitted.
All right, my stop, I'm definitely not going above the VWAP. That's a little much, but I'll go above the previous candle at least, and we'll look for a test. See if the market will keep moving down. If it doesn't keep moving down, we won't make any money. If it keeps moving down for a test, then we'll make some money. This will probably be my last trade this morning. No matter what, a very good funded market open. That's the way I look at this open. We had a good funded open. And it looks like we're going to just get caught in the MNQ volatility. That's what it looks like. I think it's going to make the low. It just needs a bigger stop. I mean, I think that's the reality. It needs a bigger stop. Maybe. Maybe. Wow, it missed our target by one tick. Look at that. Maybe two. It missed the target by two ticks. So we're getting a change in momentum, which I don't like. Missed our stop by 1 tick, 2 ticks maybe, 2 or 3 ticks. Our target, I mean. Let's try it again, maybe.
Order filled.
All right, too bad. We gave it a shot. And, you had signs that it wasn't going to work. The YM did finally give a good signal. Um, I'm sorry I missed that one. That was a good signal. Good signal. I still think the magnet could work. It just may be a little while. All right, everybody. Still a very good open. A couple of lousy scalps. Um, we do have a late night room. There is a New Zealand rate decision, 9:45. 9:45. So I'll see everybody. I'll be in the room 9:45 for the New Zealand rate decision. I hope. All right. So I want to thank everyone on YouTube for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.